Alright, hey guys, what's up? My name is T-Space, and welcome back to another story time with me. So today I'm going to be talking about my very first crush, and this happened way, way back in middle school. I think I was 12. Yeah, I think I was 12, and I met this amazing girl. Now, she was the most cliche, amazing girl that, you've seen in movies and whatnot, or how people have described others as, cute, funny, smart. She was an overall rounded person, and overall, I wanted to ask this girl out. Now, I didn't have any prior experience to this, and on top of that, I didn't have any older siblings to go for help and guide me through this first time event in my life. And on top of that, I didn't really want to ask my parents because I kind of felt awkward asking them that kind of question. Nonetheless, I decided that I wasn't going to straight out go and ask this girl out. No, before I actually get on with the story, I want to, I guess, give her a name. So I don't want to give her, or I don't want to say her real name, so I'll give her a fake name. Let's call her Jessica. So Jessica was this girl, and I wanted to ask her out, but I didn't want to do it immediately. I didn't want to just walk up to her and ask her out without knowing anything about her. I was thinking about this. I was playing it smart. I wanted to make sure that this girl had a great personality to, I guess, complement her great aspects. So what I did was I wanted to do some research on what romance actually was. Now, given that I was 12, this research was kind of bland, and overall, my research sources were action flicks that had mild, I guess, cases of romance in it. Even though I categorize the romance and action films as kind of diseases because they don't really belong in there. Nonetheless, I watched these action flicks that had very little romance in it. Because if I rented a movie that was a complete romance movie, I would literally fall asleep. And given that I was 12, explosions made me excited, and overall it kept me interested in the movie. Now, with other movies that I've watched, I realized that the protagonist, usually in these films, the protagonist was a male. So the protagonist would always open up the door for the ladies. And now, this is a simple concept, and I did this to my family members and whatnot, opening up the door for my grandmother or opening it up for my mom and stuff like that. But I've never actually opened the door up for a stranger. I mean, given that I was 12, my life experience wasn't really up to par to other people, I guess. So I don't know. I thought it was new, and maybe this could be the key to this girl's heart. No, not necessarily could be the key. This could more or less be an icebreaker. Basically, I can open up the door for her, and it would hopefully strike a conversation between us two. So that was my plan, and it actually worked out pretty well. So the scenario was this. We had two classes back to back. We had first period and second period. The first period class, I don't really remember. Second period class, I think it was like English or something like that. But the key was that each of these classrooms were on the opposite side of campus. Now, she wasn't more or less a rushy type of person. So from class to class, she kind of just strolled to the next class. So I'm like, this is perfect. I don't have to rush too much because she doesn't really walk that fast. So I had it all planned out, and I was ready to do it. On the day of to start this first, I guess, this first plan or whatever of mine to ask this girl out. It worked perfectly. I opened up the door for her. She said hi. I said hi, and then we started conversating. That was really wrong. That was really horrible English. But anyhow, so we struck or we started to talk, and overall, I liked her personality. Her personality pretty much I guess, resembled her aspects, her good aspects. So I was like, man, this girl, I think I'm gonna ask her out. So after I would say the 2 weeks, the first 2 weeks of doing this, I decided that on the Friday of the second week that I would ask her out on Monday. So that would give me the entire weekend to hopefully plan. So I did all the cliche things, looking in the mirror, watching myself saying my lines and stuff like that, wearing the best clothes that I had, and of course at the time the best clothes that I had were probably like, I don't know, jeans and a hoodie, and I was like, man, I'm fucking fly. Of course I didn't say that, I was 12, but I thought that, or I thought like that. Anyhow, on Sunday, the night before, I wanted to prepare myself and overall get enough sleep so I would be well rested and I wouldn't, mess up my lines or feel groggy. But here was my kryptonite. When I was about to go to bed, I saw my dad was watching a marathon. Now, this marathon was on The Mythbusters. I love Mythbusters. Mythbusters is amazing. It's an amazing show, and I just love it. It's awesome. So I asked my dad, "Hey, Dad, can I watch the marathon with you?" It's like, "Yeah, sure." At that time, my bedtime was about, I think, 9:30. Before we knew it, it was 10:45, and my dad's like, "All right, Eric, you're late. You need to go to bed." And I'm like, "Okay, I'll go to bed." So I run upstairs, get into bed, and I try to go to sleep, but I couldn't because I was thinking about Mythbusters. I was like, man, that marathon goes on to midnight, and I don't want to miss anything. So I waited in my bed until my dad went to sleep, and then I snuck out of my bedroom, ran downstairs, turned on the TV, and watched the Mythbusters episodes until midnight. When I realized it was midnight, I was like, oh God, I only have 6 hours before I have to wake up. So I rushed back upstairs as fast as I could, and I devised this, I guess, this strategy of instant sleeping. Now, what this entailed was every thought that was in my mind when I closed my eyes, I would imagine it exploding. So, therefore, if I was thinking of something and it exploded, I wouldn't necessarily be thinking of it anymore because it's gone. It just exploded. But then I came across another problem. This problem was, what if I started thinking of explosions? I mean, you can't explode explosions. That just doesn't make sense. That's like saying you're making water wet. I mean, it's already fucking wet. You can't do that. I mean, it just doesn't work. So when that happened, I woke up. And this happened pretty much on and off for the next 6 hours. So until I got about 3 to 4 hours of sleep for for the night, and that was very, very bad. I've never actually worked off of 4 hours of sleep before. Of course, I was 12, so you don't expect a 12-year-old to only get 4 hours of sleep. You expect him to get more hours. So nonetheless, I was very groggy. I was very tired, and overall, I walked downstairs. My dad looked at me, and he was like, "You watched that marathon, didn't you?" And I don't know how the hell he fucking knew, but I couldn't even answer him because I was so tired. He just accepted that I was up all night watching the marathon because he could tell. I guess he could see it in my eyes. Nonetheless, my mom dropped me off at school, and first period ended. So I was like, okay, I've got to pull myself together. I gotta ask this girl. I gotta ask Jessica out. She's gonna be my girlfriend. She's gonna be my first girlfriend. It's gonna be amazing. So I go as fast as I possibly can to the second period class. Now, given that I was groggy, my stability on running from class to class wasn't the best. So I ran into a bunch of people. So if anyone, I guess, happened to be there and happened to watch this video, I am sorry that I ran into you because I think I toppled over a couple of people, um, which is pretty bad. I mean, I'm not tall or anything, but my backpack was huge. Like I was one of those Asians that had 5 textbooks in their backpacks, and you're like, how do you not have scoliosis? Anyhow, so I got to the second period class and I was ready for her. I saw her, she saw me, she was walking down the hall, her elegant hair blowing into the wind, and I said hi, she said hi. I opened up the door for her, and then I closed the door for her. I don't know what it was. Maybe I was on autopilot or something, but I was just too effing tired that I couldn't even say anything. Like I'm not even sure if I said hi to her when I opened up the door. I think I was just half dead when when she saw me because I think I remember her face was kind of I guess distraught, if that's the right word. I don't know if that's the right word. Anyhow, I'm gonna use it because it sounds smart and stuff. But anyhow, I closed the door, and then I walked to the nurse's office and I took a nap. And that was it. That was it. I don't know. I didn't try to ask her out again because I felt like I lost. I felt like I lost already. So I felt demoralized to even talk to her again. And I guess she didn't mind it, so it kind of left off without a hitch. Even though I think that I used that phrase wrong. Anyhow, I guess in most stories there's a moral. So in this story, I have no idea what the moral is. I mean, you can use your imagination. You could guess what the moral is, but I have no idea what the moral of the story is. This is just a story that I had and I thought was pretty interesting, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. So yeah, I'll probably be doing these in the future. They won't be as frequent. So I'll probably do it maybe once every month or so, maybe once every 3 weeks or something like that. But nonetheless, I hope you guys did enjoy the gameplay in the background. Hopefully enjoyed my story, and hopefully had a good laugh. But like always, my name is T-Space, and I will catch you guys later.